E-procurement is a platform mandated by the Government of Kosovo and managed by the Public Procurement Regulatory Commission. E-procurement is used by all contracting authorities of the Republic of Kosovo, domestic and foreign economic operators, and by any stakeholder. Contracting authorities conduct procurement activities ranging from the preparation, publication, opening, and evaluation of tenders to the contracting of the procurement activity, whereas economic operators, businesses, use e-procurement to be informed about all notifications or publications about public tenders, to download tender dossiers, and to prepare and submit direct bids on the platform. First, launch one of the browsers you have installed: Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, or any other browser. In the address field, enter the name of the website, e-prokurimi.rks-gov.net. The video illustrates how economic operators, such as companies, can prepare and submit bids in a public procurement process. Also, how to submit requests for clarification. In order for an economic operator to begin preparing and submit a bid for a particular tender, they must be a registered user of the system and log in the system with a username and password. From the beginning of the process, the user must identify the tender for which they wish to submit the bid. To do this, open the Notifications Procurement menu and select the Notification List menu. When the user clicks on the Notification List menu, a new form is open where all published notifications are visible on each particular day. The system provides numerous data management opportunities for the benefit of the user. For example, if the user is interested in a contract notification, they can mark it for later attention. Just click on the star icon next to the name of the contract notification. The tender will be placed on the preferred list, and for all warnings and changings in the procedure of that tender, the user will receive reminder notifications via email in the future. Opening contract notification data. Let's continue with the explanation of the opening of contract notification data. To open a contract notification, the economic operator must click on it. A simple search can be accessed through the Notifications Procurement menu by selecting the Simple Search option. The simple search is made by opening the list of contracting authorities, from which the economic operator can select the desired contract. The Advanced Search offers additional search options. This can be done by using the filters enabled by the system, which are the following: search by procurement number, contracting authority, publication number, type of document, type or value of the contract, procedure, estimated value, or date of publication. These filters provide the possibility to find a contract by searching the type of contract. Downloading documents. Once the economic operator clicks on the contract notification, a new form will open, which presents all information regarding the tender and all supporting documentation. At the top of the screen is the contract notification link, below which appears the basic bid information. Information can be accessed in two forms. It can be read in the browser or downloaded in PDF format. Such information contains, among other data, the title of the tender, type of notification, general procurement glossary, or GPG number, information on lots, and the relevant dates regarding the tender, the deadline for submitting the bid, date, and time of opening. Here, the economic operator may also learn that the electronic submission of tenders is mandatory. Under the basic tender information, there are links to specific tender documents, including the tender dossier. To download the tender dossier and complete tender documentation, click on Download Full Tender Dossier button. Attention! If you are a new e-procurement user, your browser will disable the download of any documents or will block the feature to open the downloaded documents. Therefore, please enable the download option by giving permission to pop-ups for the website on your browser. By downloading all the documentation, the system automatically marks that tender for further attention, in the same manner as when clicking on the star symbol on the list of published tender notifications. To download individual documents, click on the next link of the document you wish to download. Finally, there is the price list. The user must download the price list, fill it out, and only upload it in a later stage during bid submission process. Request for clarification. When the economic operator is preparing the tender documentation, the system also enables the submission of requests for clarification. Simply select the Economic Operator button, and in the menu, click on My Procurements. This shows the procurement activities for which the tender dossiers have been downloaded. The activities or procedures for which we seek clarification must remain starred until a clarification or an answer is received. Otherwise, if they are removed from the list of tenders of interest, the answers will not be sent by the system. The main menu of economic operators provides the Request for Clarification on the Tender Dossier option. From there, a new page appears, from which the option New Request should be chosen. In the next step, the tender procedure is selected by clicking on the Search option, which opens up a new window where one can select from the previously marked tender dossiers. The desired contract is selected by clicking on it and will automatically appear in the field of the procedure. The system asks to name the request for clarification, which can be done so in all 3 languages by clicking on the options displayed on the screen. Click Continue. The second step provides the opportunity to upload the request for clarification. Here, the system provides a ready-made template that can be downloaded. Pay attention to make sure that pop-ups are not blocked. Once it is saved on the computer, it is uploaded on the system by clicking on the document and clicking the Save button. The request for clarification has been prepared, but it is not yet submitted to the contracting authority. The clarification request document is stored in the system, but has not been finalized, since at this stage it is considered as a request under preparation. The system asks to select the request and to choose Submit Request. From here, the system asks once again to verify the choice, which is confirmed by clicking OK. Now the request status is Submitted, which means that it has been submitted to the contracting authority. Submitting an electronic bid. Following the identification of a tender and downloading of the tender dossier for which the economic operator will submit a bid, the economic operator must open the Economic Operator menu and select My Procurements menu. This will open the My Procurement window, the section where we can search, and the contract notification list that the user has marked for attention or for which has downloaded the documentation. The data presented in the list are the contracting authority that has issued the contract notification, internal tender code, tender name, type of procedure, estimated value, deadline for bid submission, tender status, and general procurement glossary. To begin with the electronic submission of the bid, the economic operator must select the procedure and click on the Submit Tender button. In the first step, the economic operator enters the necessary information for the submission of the tender. The name of the tender is transferred automatically, since it is the name of the tender selected in the previous step. The economic operator selects whether it is a consortium, group of economic operators, or an individual bidder, and sets the bid code, which can be set according to the economic operator's choice. Group of economic operators, consortium. If the user chooses the option to submit the bid on behalf of the group of economic operators or consortium, the user must determine the group or consortium. In the opened consortium window, the economic operator selects the existing consortium group or creates a new one. If the consortium already exists in the register, for example, the same consortium that has submitted a bid for a previous tender, it can be found through the search engine. Enter the consortium's data and click the Search button. If the consortium is found, select it from the list and press the Accept button. Alternatively, press the New Group button to open the bidding community window. specify the name of the consortium by placing a bidding code, like in the presented example. There are 3 ways to add economic operators to a group of economic operators or a consortium. Select from the register of the existing economic operator that will be in the consortium, click the Add button on the first form to open the register. An economic operator from Kosovo may be searched by name or by fiscal number. Find the economic operator and click Accept. Repeat the above steps for any economic operator that will enter the group or consortium, or enter manually the information about the new economic operator that will be part of the consortium. Enter all required data and click the Save button to save the data and add the group's, consortium's, economic operator. If the user creates a new economic operator and saves it, it will remain in the register in the future. Press the Cancel button to cancel the action without adding the economic operator to the registry. Also, to pull an existing consortium from the register and add or delete members in the manner described above. Once all of the members of the consortium have been entered, save them by clicking the Save button. The Cancel button leaves the consortium unchanged. Click on the Continue button and proceed to the next screen. Basic information on the tender. The next step is to record the basic data of the tender. The fields marked with a star are mandatory, and they are bid code, tender lots to be submitted separately, contact email address, person in charge of contact, telephone, and fax. The phone number must be in the same format as this one. Once all the necessary data are entered, click Continue to proceed to the next step, uploading tender documents. Once the bid is created in the system, the documents required as evidence and other necessary documents must be uploaded and attached to the bid. Bidders are usually required to submit various documents in the tender dossier, such as proof of ability, the technical side of the tender, and various additional information. Please refer to the instructions given by the contracting authority in the tender dossier on the form and content of the required documents and prepare them in electronic form. For example, a mandatory document in each tender is the statement under oath, which must be filled out and uploaded on the system by the economic operator. Upload all tender documents, except for the bid submission form and price list, which are documents that are attached later in separate steps. Each document can be uploaded in all 3 languages. To upload the document in a specific language, click the Browse button next to the relevant language. Find the document on the computer and click Open. The selected document must be saved by clicking the displayed option on the screen. Once the document is loaded, its name appears in the name field. For each document, the system calculates the so-called MD5 hash code. This code is a cryptographic signature that ensures that the document is not changed after it is uploaded on the system. Any document in the system may be withdrawn if it has been uploaded by mistake. However, if the uploaded document must be part of the bid, but the wrong version has been uploaded, it is not necessary to withdraw it, but simply to upload the new version over the previous one. The economic operator can submit 20 documents in various formats, including Microsoft Office, Open, PDF, XML, text. The system also accepts zip and RAR folders when the defined limit of 20 individual documents may limit large-sized bids, or when the bid contains formats that are not supported by the system. Each upload, whether individual or zip folder, is recommended not to exceed the size of 5 megabytes. To upload or add a new document, click Add New Document button and perform the steps outlined above. Uploaded documents are listed sequentially, also showing the version of the uploaded document. Meanwhile, for each document, you can determine whether the document should be considered as a business secret by selecting the option on the side. After uploading all the necessary documents, select Save and continue. Eligibility requirements. The system presents a checklist of documents on the eligibility of the bid. You can use this list to verify that you have uploaded the required documents in the tender. If this step is left blank, it means that the list of requests for the field has not been published and is not mandatory. On the screen are displayed confirmation options, uploaded document or not. Criteria like these are unique to each tender. Economic operators must read carefully the tender dossier to understand what the requirements are for the tenders they are applying to. Other information regarding the tender. If the tender contains lots, in the next form, the user selects the lot for which they will submit the bid. First, the user must select the currency and bid date. The system selects the current date, and the user can select a date no later than the deadline for submission. The system lists all lots determined by the contracting authority. For each lot, the user can select whether to submit a bid for the lot or for all lots by default. The user can also select or deselect all lots to expedite the lot selection process. If the tender is not divided into lots, then simply proceed to the next step. After you have entered all of the necessary data, select Save and Continue button and proceed to the next step. Entering prices. During the drafting of the tender dossier, the contracting authority may use two types of price list: standardized list, non-standardized list. Standardized list. We are illustrating this form with an example of the standardized list. Please note that the user must not change the content of the protected cells as they serve for purposes of accurate pricing calculations in the document. The system will ignore changes in these cells as they contain the data mandated by the contracting authority, and changing these values may cause the bid to become invalid. If the user changes prices in the on-screen form after uploading the standardized price lists, these prices will be considered as the final bid price. If we choose to complete the list in Excel format, we save it. The total price is calculated automatically by the unit price, quantity, and VAT rate. Also, operators can fill out the prices directly in the form presented in the system, set unit prices, and set VAT. Bid values will be automatically calculated by the system. Please note that quantities determined by the contracting authority cannot be changed. Bid validity and information related to subcontracting. At the end of this section, the bid's validity is presented. We must define one of three time settings provided by the system: A, to the exact day; B, in days; and C, in months. For example, we set the validity until the exact day. If there are subcontractors specified in the offer, please choose the appropriate option, i.e., yes, and re-enter the required information for each subcontractor. In case there are more subcontractors, repeat the process for each one of them and enter the data for each subcontractor in the specified field. Once we have completed all of the information, click Save and Continue. Non-standardized list. In this case, prices cannot be issued automatically because the standardized price list format is not mandated by the system. First, set the price, then the price with VAT in the bottom field, while the VAT is calculated by the system. In this version, the user must enter the total bid price. If the economic operator has prepared a detailed price description, it should load it as a document in the preferred language. The price list can be in different forms: Word, Excel, or PDF. The bid validation process and subcontracting information are the same as those presented in the standardized price list section. In cases when the assessment criteria set by the contracting authority is the most economically advantageous tender, and the subcriteria are such as price, delivery time, and guarantee, then the economic operator must fill them out in the bid during the bid compilation. Creating the bid submission form. The The bid submission form is the PDF document generated by the system, which brings together all relevant bidding information. This document is created based on the information and documents provided in the system during the previous steps in the bid submission process. To create the mandatory tender document, click on the Create Bid button. The bid submission form contains the pages for all lots for which the bid is submitted. If the economic operator has made any changes to the bid or has attached any new document or a new version of any document, the form should be recreated after each change until the bid is finalized. Then, you must open the bid submission form, carefully review all of the details in it, and verify their accuracy. This can be done by verifying whether all data entered in the system are properly presented in the document, and whether all documentation attached to the offer is marked. In cases when the assessment criteria set by the contracting authority is the most economically advantageous tender, the sub-criteria fields completed by the economic operator will appear in this way. If any of the data is not properly presented, correct it in the system in the previous steps and recreate the bid submission form as described above. If the entire content of the bid submission form is correct, the user must upload this document as generated by the system. The form must not be signed by hand, its name must not be changed, and it must not be affected or altered in any form. When you reach the bid submission form section, you will see a warning message from the system. The system will warn you, before uploading a bid submission form, the bid submission form must be signed with an advanced electronic signature. But close this message by clicking on the X icon, since the electronic signature is not mandatory. The system will open the screen on which the user can upload the bid submission form. Click on the Browse button, find the bid submission form, and upload it. Attention! If this warning message appears after saving the uploaded bid, the submitted documents do not meet the conditions of integrity and completeness of the tender. The warning means that you have uploaded the bid submission form, which is not the latest version created for this process. Please check whether you are uploading the wrong document. Upload the latest version of the form and check the accuracy and validity with this button. This indicator confirms that you can continue to the next step. Click Save and continue if you wish to submit the bid. Once the economic operator clicks Yes, the bid will automatically be submitted. After uploading the tender documents and confirming the submission of the bid, it is important to note that at the time of submission, the tender is encoded by the mechanism that is built into the system and receives a time stamp to guarantee the time of submission. In other words, until the expiry of the deadline for the submission of bids and after the commencement of the public opening, it is not possible to inspect any part of the tender. The system does not allow submission of the bid after the expiry of the deadline for submission of bids. The economic operator receives confirmation of the successful submission of the bid in their personal email address, selected during registration, and in the system's inbox. The confirmation contains the date and time of submission of the bid, as it was registered by the system, and an MD5 hash of the bid submission form. Click the Save and Continue button to complete the procedure. Tender management. Upon submission, any automatically submitted bids appear on the list of submitted bids with the respective status in the economic operator's bidding menu. A window opens with all the bids created by the economic operator. In this window, you can see the status of each bid. Also, a sign, a traffic light, indicates the status of the bid. Bids may have the following status: created bid, which implies that the economic operator has started the bid preparation, but has not completed and submitted it to the contracting authority. Received bid, confirming that the bid submitted by the contracting authority, and deleted bid, a bid submitted by the economic operator and received by the contracting authority, but withdrawn by the economic operator and deleted from the e-procurement system. Bid amendments. The bid may be amended, corrected, or withdrawn before the deadline for bid submission. We select the economic operators menu and the tenders option. The bid can be amended and corrected only if the bid still has the created status. Bid withdrawal can be made only if the bid is submitted and has the received status. The amending and correcting of the bid with the created status is done by selecting the respective bid and clicking the Details button. In this case, the economic operator is able to modify or correct any document that supports the bid, with the exception of the price and the price list, which are never saved until the bid has the created status. If the economic operator wishes to amend, correct, or submit a new bid for the already submitted bid, and which has received Receive status, the economic operator must follow with these steps. First, the bid must be withdrawn by selecting the tender and clicking on the Withdraw button. Then you must confirm the withdrawal of the bid in the message that appears and must verify whether the bid status has changed to Deleted. To submit a new bid for the same procedure, the economic operator must select the Economic Operators menu, My Procurements, select the relevant procedure, and click the Submit Bid button. It is possible to submit a new bid, make changes, or withdraw the bid only before the deadline for bid submission. If the deadline has expired, the system will prompt the message, "The deadline for submission of bids has expired," and it will not be possible to submit or change the bid. It is important to note that after the changes are made, only the last version of the submitted bid will be considered in the public opening of tenders. With this information, we conclude the training video for economic operators on the preparation and submission of the bid or tender. Thank you for your attention.